Hello and welcome to another episode of Truly Bedrock with me, Mr. Beardstone. I hope you've all got your cups of tea ready because we have got a very many lots of things to do today. And that's going to start off over here at our new shop. So in the last episode we built this mini block shop and I asked you guys if you had any ideas for names because we've got a big blank space up here and obviously we can't fit too many letters on it. At least that's what I initially thought, but then I realised we've literally got all the mini blocks right there, so we can actually make smaller letters than we would normally be able to. Obviously they're not going to render in from quite so far away, but with where we're positioned, I don't think that's going to be too much of a problem. That being said, I still don't have a name that really grabs me for this shop, so I'm still on the search for that. I'm hoping that maybe towards the end of the episode I'll have, made a decision, we'll have something good and we can figure it out from there, and that also goes for the display case on the inside of the shop. So I've had a few ideas for what I could build here, and obviously we've got use once again of the mini blocks, and at the moment the main thing I'm leaning towards is maybe building like a mini ender dragon out of the mini blocks. I think we might be able to get away with it, but then it's probably not really going to tie in with the trees and things, so we could build a golem like we've got at our base. But once again, I'm still not 100% sold, so we may or may not come back and tackle this later on in the episode. In other news though, this shop has been a roaring success. We've been open for approximately 48 hours now, and we have already made just shy of 2 stacks of diamonds, which is absolutely amazing, because I really like having lots of diamonds. But our joy can only be short-lived, because we've got some work to do still around here. So if I fly up to the roof here, you can see we still have nothing going on the roof. It's just a little bit lit up, and it's not really particularly helpful. So there's a few things I'm going to do up here. I'm going to put in some details, so probably just some air vents and things like that, and then I'm going to carpet the whole thing and also carpet the top of the walls and the top of this bit, because I really don't like these lights all scattered around. I think they just look terrible. So we're going to fix that situation but make sure it remains mob proofed. And the other thing we still need to do is under here. So yes, none of this is connected to the sea floor yet. So I need to get the red sand to get the top bit finished, and I need to get the terracotta back out and sort out the bottom under here. So these are all the little jobs we're going to be doing at the start of the episode here. And then later on in the episode, we've got some big plans. So I hope you've got your work boots on. I hope you've got your shovels at the ready, because we are going to be doing essentially a whole episode of building and terraforming. And, well, actually, first off, we're going to be doing some restocking, because although we've sold lots in there, we've still got plenty of stock. The only thing we're completely sold out of, I think, is the birch leaves and pumpkins, so we're going to need to replace those. But this shop got absolutely decimated last episode, and we've got many empty stands. So I'm going to head back to the base. We're going to see what we can do to replace some of these things, see if we can get some new stuff out here, instead of just replacing what we sold before, and, yeah, hopefully we can get this thing restocked and continue to make some money. And that box of books really isn't selling, so I think I'm just going to drop that down to a normal tier box. Back over here at the storage area in our base, you may notice if I look this way that our mess of shulker boxes has finally gone. And I'm very happy about it. It took so long, because it wasn't just the resources that we gathered last episode I had down there. I also went out and gathered together all of our shulker monsters. We had one in the village that we started out the season in. There was one outside from some terraforming. There was one over at the panda enclosure, which, yeah, well, you haven't really seen how that's going so far. So I'm not going to show you. Nope, not yet. It's not done yet. When it's done, we'll go over there, but that's a stream-only thing for now. And, yeah, there were shulkers everywhere. There's also, of course, all the shulkers from the shop we built last episode. But now that they're all sorted, we have lots of resources, and some of it's still filtering through. I think we've still got an absolute ton of sand and gravel and things like that, maybe? Yeah, there we go, still sorting through the system. So once all they're done, hopefully we'll have a few more lights turned on. But what this does do is gives us different opportunities for things we can put in the shop. So I think what I'm actually going to do this time is just get some basic resources down there. Just things like dirt, sand, gravel, and sell some of those by the shulker, because I think that's the kind of thing that people are going to be wanting. Because I've noticed a lot of people on this server are doing terraforming, there's lots of big mountains going up, and I've seen lots of complaints of running out of these basic resources. So to save them the grind, we'll just take their diamonds. And speaking of diamonds, let's add these to our collection over here. That is looking beautiful. I think we may have to go on a shopping spree soon and actually just reintroduce some of these into the economy. Either that or we'll just build more trees outside. Yeah, we're probably actually just going to build more trees, let's be honest. The good thing about our shop and being able to switch up the stock, however, means I may be able to get rid of some of these boxes of things that I really don't want or need. So we've got some soul sand and some nether bricks there. We'll just make those tier 1s. They may be handy for someone. Definitely not me, but someone might want them, I don't know. So we're going to put them in there, and I'm going to have a little run around, and I'm going to make up a few more boxes for the shop. We might end up with more boxes than we can fit on the shelves, but that's absolutely fine, because we've got our storage room out the back as well, and it just allows us to sort of switch around the stock a bit quicker if we dump lots of stuff over there. So I'm going to run around my storage and see what I find. I've been running around like a madman, but I have collected together 18 boxes of stuff and things to sell in bids. So what I've done here is gone for sort of quite a lot of building blocks and basic resources. So we've just got things like stone, gravel and so on. That one there is a bit of a unique one. We've just got lots and lots of dye. We've got dirt, we've got grass, cobble, all sorts going on in here. And I did also go spend some lovely time with our villagers, and I got together a box of emeralds, because I know not everyone has villagers, and pretty much everyone wants mini blocks. And although I've just opened a mini block shop, this box of emeralds will hopefully go some way to help someone else actually get some of their own. And I think besides that, as I say, it's pretty much building blocks, and most of these are tier 1 boxes. I think the only exception is the emerald box, and somewhere there's a box of bricks as well, or brick blocks I should say. This one here, there we go. So I've set that as a tier 2 as well, because well, they're a bit more difficult to get. So I'm going to go run over to the shopping district again. We're going to drop all these off, we're going to set up the signs. Some of these are probably going to end up in storage, because I don't think we've got 18 empty slots. And I was just watching Foxy on stream day, and while he was on the stream day, he went into my mini block shop and just spent about another stack of diamonds. So we're going to go collect those as well. And, oh, actually, while I'm here, the other thing I'm going to do is grab a few bits and bobs so we can finish off the roof over there. So I'm going to grab a few more bits, and I will meet you over at the shopping district, most likely when I'm stocking up the shelves. See you in a moment. It is now restocked with our new bits and bobs, so we'll see how they sell, and we have space in our inventory to grab all these diamonds from Foxy. Marvellous. So the next thing to do is to head up to the roof of this building. So I do have a few plans up here. It's not going to be anything too major. I'm probably just going to put a few sort of aircon unit type things on it, and then I just want to carpet the area to make sure that, oh, yeah, this is a terrible fire exit, to make sure that no mobs are going to spawn up here, because the back half of this building is actually not on the Mushroom Island, so, well, the mesa that's been converted into a Mushroom Island, let's say. So I'm going to crack on with that, and I'll meet you back here once we've got something out here that looks acceptable, I suppose. Well, it's not perfect, but it's certainly looking a lot better up there, and I think that'll do for the roof side of things. So the last thing we need to do is the bit that I've been dreading, and that is under here. So I need to grab myself some more red sand, which is going to be easy enough, but I need to build this bit here down and try and tie it in with the rest of the coastline. So I need to go grab myself some terracotta of normal variety and a little bit of red and brown as well by the looks of it, maybe some orange, and of course I'm going to need many sea pickles, because I need to make sure that I'm pickling everything I put down here, because we don't want drowned crawling up out of the ocean and coming onto land. The other thing we need to consider is that this area here is most likely now spawnable. So I'm going to need to make sure I get some lighting and things down here somehow. I really don't know how to do that at the moment. We could just put some scattered barrels and things and have lights hidden inside some trapdoor barrels or something. I don't really know, but we'll have a little play around here. We could actually hang some lights on the sea wall. That might work. But yeah, first things first, let's go get some more terracotta, some more red sand, and then we'll come back and get this finished. I've just flown down the corridor and Tistom's sitting on a panda head. I don't even... This is disgusting. I hope that's a high quality replica you've got there, Tiz. So I've told him as such. I do hope that that's a high quality replica. Oh, good. Okay, good. Yeah, that's good. I've I've grabbed myself a lot of terracotta and I've got plenty of red sand as well, and a few other bits and bobs to try and make the top bit here look a little bit nicer and sort out the lighting situation. So I think the best way to do this is probably going to be via a time lapse. A short while later, and we've managed to get this whole area looking a lot better. It's all lit up and it's all connected to the sea floor, which is just marvellous. And I don't know why I was dreading it so much, really. Working with the terracotta and sand and stuff was absolutely fine. I've not really done landscaping with this stuff before, so I was nervous, okay? But it's fine, it's come out fine. So with that last little addition, I think it's safe to say that this shop and the surrounding landscape is now complete, which is fantastic. I like getting things ticked off my list. And speaking of doing that, we are going to head back to our base, because we've got a few other things we need to do. And what is BJ doing? I'm just going to leave him to it. Over here at my base, I'm stuck on the side of a mountain looking down on what we did a couple of episodes ago. So this is when Jesse B came over, we got up a couple more diamond trees, and yeah, I did some terraforming on the path and stuff around here. However, I really kind of want to start pulling this area together a bit more and actually having some completed bits, like as in its entirety, as opposed to just having lots of platforms and things like that. So I don't think we're going to get to the mill today, because that's going to be quite a big job and will probably be an episode in itself. However, this bit on the other side of the river and the riverbank, and just generally terraforming this land around here, and even putting some stuff into the cliffs, I think that's something we probably can do. I've got 2 of these platforms marked out, and each one of these is going to be a small house in the forest, and I think I'm going to make use of some sort of colourful, maybe terracotta or something like that. I want to start getting more of a fantasy feel into the houses that are kind of, you know, closer to the fantasy trees and the big cave, of course, and that was my face on a tree. Marvellous. Once we've got a couple of those houses in, I think we should be able to terraform the rest of this area as well. We're going to get the last diamond tree in over there on that side, and I'm probably going to remove that and put in a stone circle or something a little bit different, or maybe even just a sort of large muddy area that's going to be outside the mill. I don't really know. It's probably going to stay there for this episode, but I don't see it staying long. It clashes with the base of the trees too much now. I'm going to go back to my storage. I'm going to grab myself lots of brown mushrooms and jungle wood and decide what colour I'm going to do the roof. So my first step in this process is going to be to work out a colour palette. So I'm probably going to do that over the back there somewhere. And once I've got that worked out, I'm just going to crack on. I'm going to do lots of building, lots of terraforming, lots of stuff and things, and we're going to get lots and lots done here. So I think it's quite likely we're going to have a time lapse, maybe even a mega time lapse. I really don't know. Either way, the music's probably started, so I best get cracking. been a couple of hours, but we are making some really good progress over here. So as you saw from that time-lapse, we've got a couple of buildings up now, and since the time-lapse, I have actually made some improvements to this one over here, because I wasn't quite happy with the tower, as you probably saw during the time-lapse. And I ended up obviously converting it into a smaller roof side here, and it really needed some extra details and things. So what I've actually done around this side now is we've got a lovely dock in and things like that, and oh look, there's a drowned fella there. Let's put him out of his misery, shall we? There we go. And yeah, we put a lovely garden in as well, which I really like. I think it really helps to sort of tie this building into its surroundings. But yeah, that being said, we've still got a lot more to do on that regard, but we'll get back to that in a minute, because we also put in this building over here. So with these buildings, what I've done is I have used the same materials for both. I want them to tie in together. We're going to be using similar materials for the mill in regards to the sort of roof and possibly some of the walls, but I want the mill to be kind of a transition between those ones and the slightly more fantasy ones over here. So yeah, that's gonna be an interesting build, that mill. I did, however, promise you lots of time-lapse and terraforming, and we've done no terraforming yet. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna focus on this area here, get this lovely pool looking good, because this all goes down and then the water flows down into the lower river down there. But I need to obviously make this actually look good. It's just a hole in the ground at the moment, and I also want to get some more trees up in this area. So we're gonna do a few more of the oak trees around the riverbanks and in the gardens and things like that, because I want this whole area to look a lot more foresty than it currently does. It's just a little bit too open at the moment. The other thing I intend on doing is something with this. So I was looking at the area, and if we fly over here, what I noticed was that that lump is actually in quite a good position. It's just maybe not quite big enough. So what I'm going to do is, alongside this path, I'm going to extend this bit out so it's actually more of a cliff face on this side, and then slope it back down into the path here so there's another walkway. And then I'm going to put a tall, thin building up there. I don't really know what yet. It's probably going to be another house of some sort, but I need to make the platform up there a little bit bigger for that, because obviously, you know, 5 blocks isn't going to cut it. But I think, you know, a similar sort of style to this, but an actual house, just a, you know, 2 or 3 level tower house, I think it's going to really help pull that area together, and will also help break up the side of the mountain a bit. It's been a long, hard day of terraforming, but I'm really pleased with the results that we've got over here, and I'm hoping you will be too. We've still got plenty more to do, but it's looking pretty good. So let's take a little flyby and have a look at what we've been up to. As we discussed in the last clip, I have managed to get in this ledge up here, and we're going to be putting a building of some kind up here. I haven't quite decided what yet, but it's probably going to be something towery, I think, to take up some of the front of this rock face. But I've also left this bit here flat at the top there, because I realised it was directly opposite the mill, and I think that's a really good opportunity to get a sort of wooden bridge or a rope bridge going across the river up there, and I think that's just going to really pull the two sides of the river together. But, you know, that's going to be probably a couple of episodes away once we actually get to building the mill. I'm really pleased with how this rock face here has come out, though, down the bottom. It just needs a few vines, and as I say, there's a bit of squaring here and there that I need to sort out, and I still haven't done anything around the back here, so I'm going to sort out the garden for this place, but there's not actually really any way to get round here, so I'm probably just going to put a few trees in and make the area look a bit more forested around the back. Back on the main path though, next to this building, I really like the view you get as you look towards the cave entrance now, because you can see there's a big entrance there, but it doesn't just look like a big gaping hole in the side of the cliff. The views as you carry on down this path are also looking a lot better. We've got the waterfall. I haven't managed to do all the top bit up there yet. I need to sort out all the rock face here, and, well, sorry, didn't mean to get in your face. So I do need to sort out the rest of that, but the actual lower pool area I think is looking really good. I just need to get some lily pads in there, which is something I don't actually have any of at the moment. Lastly, as you carry on round, we've got the final building, which was actually the first building we put up today, and we have the tree there that sort of blocks the view once again, so you don't actually see how vast the cave is until you come around the corner of the path there, and then the whole cave just opens out. And I think once we start building in there, that's just going to look amazing. I did also manage to get up another diamond tree on this side, as well as get the rest of the terraforming done so we can link these areas together, so that when we do actually build the mill, we can put the bridges in and connect everything up, and then we're going to have a whole completed side here, once again, apart from the actual side of the cliff. So that is something I'm really not looking forward to. It's not going to be particularly easy, but towards the top it's mainly just going to be swapping out bits for andesite, and right at the very top we're going to have some more dirt overhangs and a bit of mossy cobble, so I mean maybe it won't be too bad, but I'm still not looking forward to it either way, mainly because it's just going to be really awkward to get up there. Sadly, that is all we have time for in today's episode. I hope you have enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed myself. We've managed to get a few things finished over at the shopping district, and we've made a huge difference to this landscape over here. And I really can't wait to just get the rest of these buildings in, get the mill up. We're going to put some wheat fields down here, and this area is just going to look fantastic once it's done, hopefully. I mean, it's coming along all right, I think, and if you've got ideas of what you think we can put in this area as well, because we've still got a lot of land to fill, so I am going to put in some extra buildings and things, but if there's anything specific you want to see me put in down here, do let me know in the comments. So that's all from me, and I will see you on the next episode of Truly Bedrock. Bye-bye now.